Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa D'Amico, the curator of the Rockefeller Gallery, and I have the pleasure today of speaking with artist Arabella Wilson. Arabella's work will be in the group exhibit called Timeless Blooms. And Arabella, I am, as you know, a big fan of your work, and I would love for you to talk about your technique, your inspiration, your use of color. I'm just truly fascinated by it all.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm super honored to be included in this exhibit, and I'm so excited to share my work with people as I love to do. I've been making art for my whole life, basically, as long as I can remember. And of course, the style has had different evolutions and, different interests just as you grow and as you change with life. And about 2 years ago, I started the Wildflower collection, which was really an idea that I had of the importance of embracing imperfection. And so, what I did with this collection is I wanted to take these flowers, something that we all find traditionally beautiful in all different cultures and ways of life, and to abstract them, to make them a little bit different, a little bit strange, but still recognizable as a flower. Maybe you don't know if they're a peony or a rose or a chrysanthemum, but they still have this beauty. And that was just such a celebratory feeling for me of embracing this imperfection and letting that beauty shine through, even in a strange way. And so I'm really excited to share this work with the Rockefeller exhibit.
Thank you so much. This is um, going to be such a stunning exhibit. And your use of composition I find fascinating because your flowers almost spill over the canvas. Is this something intentional or is it just something that comes innately from you when you work?
I think, I do work from such an intuitive place. The pieces in this collection, I really didn't plan them. There is no initial sketch. I sort of just start on the canvas and it takes over the whole thing. Sometimes I edit pieces out and kind of make them just the centerpiece of what I want the viewer to focus on. But in many cases, it does just spill over and it has this energy of abundance and celebration and love and just good energy. That's really what I want to do with my art. If I could pick one goal of what I would love the art to do in the world, I just want it to spread good, positive energy because I feel like we need it so much right now. And the bright colors and the vibrance and that good feeling, I think it does carry over in the viewer and just elevates the space in that way, in a way that you can't help but feel happy when you look at it. And so I kind of want that to extend from the canvas, like into the rest of the space, into the rest of your room.
I also noticed with your work, it just in general, you stay within a certain like spectrum of colors.
Yeah.
Is that intuitive or is that something that's kind of predetermined?
So I think that's where I was when I was making this collection. I had just discovered the color pink. I had spent my whole life hating it. I was like, I never want to paint anything pink. And all of a sudden, one day, just this switch clicked in my head. And I was like, oh my God, it's my favorite color. And so every single thing I did, it had to have a little bit of pink in it. And so this collection has a ton of pinks and blues and purples and highlighted with bursts of like bright, vibrant, rich yellows and kind of creating this like magical, ethereal look that I feel like those colors really emphasize, like that vibe. And it's transitioned too. So all of a sudden, I found myself being more drawn towards earth tones. And so that's what I'm working on now. But I will always have the biggest place in my heart for these colors because they make me happy. I love them so much.
There is, like you said, there's an energy, there's a joy to them. And as you were working on them, did you have the intention of making this really very long and beautiful series? Or did you just start with one and it kind of grew from there?
Yeah, so I started with four really small watercolor pieces. They were 4 by 6 inches watercolor on paper, and I couldn't control watercolor. And so for me, that was the biggest challenge. And I intentionally chose that medium because I knew I needed to let go of this idea of perfection and control. So it really just started from these four little pieces, and I promoted them on Instagram and they sold. And I was like, oh, maybe I should make more. And so I went a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. I transitioned to painting them on canvases. At the time, I was just working with acrylic. That was my primary medium. And then I started feeling the urge to work oil into it. And so then I started layering the oil on top of the acrylic and going bigger and bigger with canvases. And the biggest one I have right now is 6 feet high and 5 feet wide. So it's a very far jump from that little 4 by 6 inch square. And I did not know it was going to go that way, but it's very cool to see it kind of naturally find its path in that direction.
Wonderful. Well, Arabella, listen, thank you so much for speaking to me today about your magnificent work. I recommend everybody come to this exhibit to really stand in the presence of your paintings is it's life-changing. They bring, like you said, a joy, and there is a really a profound impact being in their presence. So on top of that, I also recommend following you on Instagram and social media, as well as visiting your website. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. This is such an honor. I appreciate it.